Huh?
Oh, that tasted awful. That weren't no blue-jawed hagfish. River crust is more likely. Gotta keep my mind on my duties. Forget about that kiss. Oh, that kiss. So he says, keep alert, and I says, I am alert. I've been alert. And he says, oh yeah, but this time, I really mean it. Nothing then. Oh, never mind. I should just work a double shift. But I have to listen to him tell me about how good it was under the Duke's father.
Put in a request for moves. What I get? Sock. One useless sock.
Air feels heavy. Hard to get a good lungful. Yo, sure, yeah, he knows how to talk with the boss. Spittle.
Just heard a dog. Huh? Oh, shit. Let's see what you've got. What are you ready for? Huh? Come on, let's finish this. This can't be. Beg for mercy. I've got just the thing for you. I'll tear you to pieces. shit.
Worse than nothing.
Put in a request for new boots, and what did I get? A sock. One useless sock.
Oh, good.
Get off my line! Help! No!
What a twisted situation. If it was me, I was infested with blood-fried lard, I'd probably kill myself.
Miserable rat.
I told you what would happen if you reported me. I warned you.
Please, you gave me no choice.
Please? It's too late for that, Rapallo. Guess what happens next?
No!
This is how we get rid of snitches. Remember, if anyone asks, he just ran through it.
Yeah, we couldn't stop him.
Hey, is the windmill turning all right
ball
up
of
there?
light from the time of the rat plague.
Don't worry, it's turning. Plenty of electricity.
Good. I like this setup better than using the well oil tanks. The wind won't run dry.
Unless something happens to the windmill, these break down just as often in a different way. And they also overcharge sometimes.
The wind picks up too strong? Like in a storm?
Right. And if that happens, trust me, don't stand too close to the wall of light.
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
Anywhere! Won't get away! Take this!
More Grand Guard soldiers. Lapdogs for the Duke.
No! Get off me! No! No! They're stinging me! I'll check. What? Somebody's down! Someone's hit!
What? I need assistance! Oh no! Don't let them bite you!
I'm back here! Blood flies! Help! Get off it!
Shit! Some kind of trouble? In this part of town? Honestly, why can't they keep all the riffraff in a separate place?
Conducting a search for heretical artifacts.
What? Here? Listen, I only need...
This area is restricted on the authority of the Abbey. No one is allowed inside.
Those who wander are untethered by family and neighbors for reasons tested and true. It is not because they have turned their back on tradition.
We unite against the spirits of the unknown that would drag us screaming into the night.
He's a friend to the outsider. Never doubt that. Say this now to all.
I've seen something. Now we're all on edge. My heart can't take much more of this. Trouble sleeping again. Maybe I ought to try somewhere there is still merriment in song, and the gentle ease of friendship. Somewhere near they hold hands. They drink poison together. This old couple. A banker tricked them out of their home.
Do not doubt. We will verify this claim, and we will...
I'm getting tired of the sound of my own voice. It's like I'm talking to a stone wall for all they listen. I see Karnaka falling into darkness, hate, and corruption. If only it were not so.
say this now to all the faithful in our society. Your allegiance should be first and most fiercely to your family, to your neighbors, and to the Abbey of the Everyman. Princes and queens rise and fall, but a succession of overseers will watch you for the entirety of your lifetime, shielding you from the outer horrors of the void and from the spoiled touch of the outsider himself. Hold closest to the 7 strictures. If it is true that a witch now sits on the throne in Dunwall, and that the Duke of Serkinus is in her thrall, as is whispered in parlors and alehouses across the Empire, do not doubt. We will verify this claim, and we will act. Smoke will billow. Fires will lick the stones of Dunwall Tower. And at the end of it all, the Abbey will stand in the ashes. Karnaca is in great peril, brothers and sisters. Now, this is not news to those of you living through these times of crisis, but the source of your suffering might not be plain to you. Karnaca has turned away from the Abbey of the Everyman. Those leading this city would gamble with all that we have built, with your very families. If the Abbey is pushed away, anarchy will befall this city. A chaos not seen since the time of the Great Burning. Karnaca has but one chance to save itself, and that is to return to the fold, to take solace once again in the litany on the White Cliff. Let not the wanderer into your home, friends. Avoid the stranger, for their time to sink roots into the bedrock of the community has passed. Those who wander are untethered by family and neighbors for reasons tested and true. It is oft because they have turned their backs on tradition and on the 7 strictures themselves. A wanderer is a friend to the outsider. Never doubt that. There is a tale, a decade and a half old. A tale most often shared from overseer to overseer, apart from the flocks entrusted to our care, apart from those we give our lives to both chastise and protect. Sometimes this tale is told within our mightiest enclaves, and sometimes it is told around campfires during our most remote pilgrimages. It is the sorry story of a man, most high within the Abbey, who was banished during the rat plague. His name may not be spoken, and all written record of his existence has been erased, so grave were his errors. To fall from the pinnacle of discipline to the muddiest ditch of disgrace, that is his tale. To once wear the cloth of the high overseer, and to later bear the heretic's brand across the flesh of his face. How did this come to pass, brothers and sisters? Look to the 7 strictures, and you will know. The Abbey will not allow the shadows of the void to fall upon you.
Something is amiss.
We will brandish the light or the flame as we must, to keep our charges from everlasting pain and suffering, to prevent even one among us from wandering through that endless night for time without end. The reward of a life well lived, in keeping with the 7 strictures, is the end of existence, the peace of non-being. Only those who turn from the 7 strictures risk an endless existence, adrift in the void, the dark sky without stars, the cold, lifeless ocean that surrounds us all and threatens to devour the earth and sky and all things in between. Trust in the Abbey, my friends. Trust in the Abbey. A young girl came to me on the 14th day of the month of harvest. I will never forget her words. She looked up at me and asked what shrines to the outsider could be found across the Isles. She affected a look of innocence, but beneath it I saw guile. my suspicions arose at once, and I questioned her sharply until she confessed to playing alone in an empty woodcarver's shop at the edge of town. Each day for a week, she crept back to that place, and there in the cellar she found cloth of purple and red, suspended from the walls, and a wretched altar of candles burned low, some small trinkets of bone, and a few coins left by those within the outsider's wicked cabal, those cursed figures who hunch and shamble just outside the lights of our city, whose faces we do not recognize, and whose voices are strange to us. The girl was taken from her home the next night, locked in a cage of iron, and toppled into the canal. Her corruption was eradicated for the safety of all those who lived around her, all of you. We harden ourselves to the cries of the apostate, to the heretic, and in doing so, we save countless others from the horrible discord that awaits them beyond death. Let not the wanderer into your home, friends. Avoid the stranger, for their time to sink roots into the bedrock of the community has passed. Those who wander are untethered by family and neighbors for reasons tested and true. It is oft because they have turned their backs on tradition and on the 7 strictures themselves. A wanderer is a friend to the outsider. Never doubt that. I say this now to all the faithful in our society. Your allegiance should be first and most fiercely to your family, to your neighbors, and to the Abbey of the Everyman. Princes and queens rise and fall, but a succession of overseers will watch you for the entirety of your lifetime, shielding you from the outer horrors of the void and from the spoiled touch of the outsider himself. Hold closest to the 7 strictures. If it is true that a witch now sits on the throne in Dunwall, and that the Duke of Circinus is in her thrall, as is whispered in parlors and alehouses across the empire, do not doubt. We will verify this claim, and we will act. Smoke will billow. Fires will lick the stones of Dunwall Tower. And at the end of it all, the Abbey will stand in the ashes. Karnaca is in great peril, brothers and sisters. Now, this is not news to those of you living through these times of crisis, but the source of your suffering might not be plain to you. Karnaca has turned away from the Abbey of the Everyman. Those leading they will rise up among you like a fearless.
Stream of untruth. The echoes of lies come back as the voice of the outsider.
feel safe. What is wrong with this city?
Huh?
I'll work unloading fish. I'd be out on the boats, but I've got a weak stomach. A friend of mine got killed by bloodflies, so I take him real serious.
Careful! What's happening now? My luck?
Surrender and die! It's the faithless any day. Look everywhere! I know an agent of the outsider when I see one. I smell heresy on you. Brothers, let's finish him! What's going on?